Happy Friday, everyone. Your real worth isn't defined by your net worth. What makes you valuable is how you use what you have been given. All of us have gifts. Make sure you're making the most of yours. Have an amazing Friday.
It is now the bottom of the hour. I'm excited to welcome Nancy Matthews to our program today. Nancy is an author of a book. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in the carousel for you guys. There it is, The One Philosophy. I want to talk to Nancy not only about the re-release of the book, but also what it's been like for her to share the message with all of you guys. Nancy, great to have you on with us.
Hello, hello, hello. So happy to be here.
Today, over 1 billion children in the world live in poverty. At Help Heal Humanity, our goal is to connect children in need with people like you who want to make a difference. Our student sponsorship program helps provide children with the necessities for a healthy and successful start to life. When you sponsor a student, you're not only giving them the gift of education, you're giving them the best chance for a brighter future. 100% of your donation supports the tuition fees, uniforms, textbook, and school supplies needed to thrive in a safe and healthy learning environment. Sponsor a student now and be the catalyst for their brighter future.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? We are here. It is Friday, and I am ready to rock and roll with these coaches that I have on for, as I always say every Friday, the Coaches Lounge with Barbara Beckley. So why did I create this platform? You want to know? You're asking, you're wondering. I created it because I wanted to make sure that coaches, educators, and consultants have a spotlight. You know, we're always saying, you know, we hear people when if they're speakers, if they're singers, if they're athletes and all that kind of stuff. But the biggest person or individual that's really, really making a big change, I believe, okay, a world change is coaches. Coaches of any type of coach, health coach, financial coach, business coach, what have you. Some people are just all in one, they're a unicorn. But I know that the reason why I say it's so important because they come in somebody's lives and they basically help them move them from this point to this point in their life. So they can just be that person in their lives and change the world. So they're world changers. Coaches are world changers for other people. And I was like, they don't get that. To me, they don't get their just due. They don't get that spot. They don't get to people understand what they do, why they do it, why they got into what they do. And I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be on this platform under the Diamond Factor Network to make sure that we had that. So that's why I created the Coaches Lounge with Barbara Beckley. We've been doing this now, and I'm so proud. We're going to make our 9th month. Now, I've been with the network for 3 years, but with the Coaches Lounge, it's still a little baby, not too much of a baby. We're getting there. We're hitting our year. And, you know, if I always tell people that just keep being persistent in what you do, and eventually it's going to rise to the top. So, you know, I have 2 wonderful, usually when I have ladies come on as coaches, you know, I call lady queens. I always call lady queens because I look at them as royalty. But today I have something even more special. I have 2 kings coming on my show today. 2 kings. So we got King Todd coming on first. And yes, I have deemed him king. He has a crown on his head. I want him to know that before he comes up to the stage today. This man, I'm telling you, I've been waiting to interview him. Well, you know, first of all, let me back a little bit. I don't do interviews. I do conversations. Some people be like, oh, what's your name? I don't do that. I want to have a conversation so you get to know this king, get to know Todd, and understand what he does. Now, he is on a mission to revolutionize company culture and leadership. He said what he does by adding more value than he receives through his faith. Oh, he's already in my corner with this. He has an international experience in speaking, coaching, teaching, writing, and training, and the list goes on. He's an owner and founder of his own company. He's out there just making things happen. He's been doing this for a long period of time. This is not just, oh, I just started last week, I decided to do some coaching on. No, he's been doing this for a lifetime. And believe me, when you hear the conversation, you'll understand after this talk, you're going to want to sign up and say, I think I need to talk to Todd. Yes, you need to talk to the king. But before we bring the king on, we have to do it right. This can't just bring on royalty just in there on the screen. No, we have to make sure we do Mr. Todd right. So this is to help. We'll be right back after this little video. Yes, he's here.
Wow. I am humbled by that introduction, Barbara. Thanks so much.
Oh, no, you deserve it. You deserve it, King. See, I told you, I gave you a title. I gave you the crown. You have to wear it.
It fits pretty good. It fits pretty good.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because sometimes when I give other people crowns, they're like, well, I don't know, Barbara. I said, no. Well, I don't know nothing. You have the crown. So you own it. You're owning it right now. I'm glad. Thank you so much.
Well, I tell you, you're the leading into the show and your introduction. I'm so fired up right now. I'm ready to take on the world.
Ooh, come on. Let's do this. Oh, my God. Okay. So I know we were scheduled before. I'm vulnerable, so I always just open up and say stuff I don't mind. It's a connection thing. But I know that before we were going to come on before, and, it kind of got with scheduling and stuff. And I said, oh, no, he has to come back. Hopefully he comes back. I want him to come back. So when you came back and you said, Barbara, I could do it this day, I was like, yes.
Well, I've heard so many good things. I did not want to miss the opportunity. And as talking about being vulnerable, I openly confess that technology is not my friend, but I am hardwired and ready to go this morning.
Well, you sound good. Mike sounds good. You look good. I mean, let's do this. I mean, like this, the tech gods just keep us here. But
that's right.
So, Todd, I want to, before, we jump into, some really three key points that you are going to share with us, which I can't wait, because I always love the golden nuggets when it comes to wonderful coaches like yourself. But before that, can you I always like to know, like, what kind of got you started in what you do before, you became this brilliant, successful celebrate of a person of helping other people in their lives?
Well, I will say God has a plan, and he put in front of me about 5-6 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Todd Kuckkahn, who came when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, had a program he wanted to promote, and it was called Live to Lead. It's a John Maxwell program. And we brought Tom in and the program in, and I went to my first Live to Lead, and I was just in awe of John Maxwell and the things he does and how he changes communities and leadership. So that led to me reading a book, that led to me getting involved with a mastermind group, that led me to going to several of his conferences, and just really lit the fire under me to really share my passion and love and speaking on things like culture and leadership. And quite honestly, Barbara, I've been fired 4 times in my life, and it's painful. And I've learned a lot from that, and I've learned a lot about culture and the right way to do things and the right way to treat people.
Yeah. And sometimes things happen for a reason in life. because I know, there's a few places I was fired too. And now I'm glad about that, because now I'm where I'm at now. I'm like, okay, if I probably would have stayed or, what have you, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And the same with you. You wouldn't be this brilliant coach and just helping other people in their lives if you kind of maybe would have had to be where you're at. So there's always a plan.
Well, it puts you and I together, which is that's a great step in the plan. But you're absolutely right. And I think, sometimes people think that failure is a bad thing, but that's where a lot of learning takes place. And I've coached a lot in my life. I'll be coaching my 5th grade grandson this year in basketball. And it's hard to teach people from winning. But when you have challenges, when like John Maxwell says, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So the learning is so important. I've had plenty of those opportunities, let me tell you.
Believe me, and the hits keep going, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna be I always tell people, no matter long as you live, you're gonna be forever learning and forever failing and failing forward, as I tell people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that expression. Actually, I've used that before. And how crazy is it that at age 63, I started a solopreneurship. I got out of a job, an 8-to-5 job that was comfortable, probably my best job ever. But I just saw this ability to go out and really impact people. And what I hear back is just, it feeds me. I mean, once in a while I get paid, that's great. But it's the comments that people make on social media or when I speak, and how I'm impacting. And it's just like something you don't think about, but once you start getting into it, it's so rewarding.
Mm-hmm. Truly, truly rewarding. Oh, there's Mrs. Queen Lachelle. She's the one that put us together. Thank you, Queen.
Absolutely. She's another awesome lady.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I love every time she kind of tags me sometimes, in LinkedIn and say, oh, I have an awesome person that you might want to interview. And I'm like, bring them on. So, again, just coming together. I always tell people, your team is a community of people that are like-minded people, like, Lachelle and yourself, and we come together, and that's how we build things, and that's how people get awareness of each other. So I'm so glad that she introduced us.
Absolutely. I'm sorry for stepping in there, but and she walks the talk. When her and I first met, she talked about, I'm going to connect you with these people, and you hear, there's so much of that going on, in a fake way, but Lachelle is so sincere and has followed through. And I've met more incredible people in the last couple months since I met her, and it's just been fantastic to get on a call like this and chat, learn about each other, and maybe impact some people that are listening in.
Yes, and that's what it's all about. It's all about, introducing each other, understanding each other, and then you never know what person that you're going to introduce the person to that's going to touch somebody's lives and that they needed you.
And that's really what coaching and mentoring is all about, right? I mean, you talked a lot about coaching, and that's really what you're doing. You're trying to impact people's lives, and maybe tweak or change the way they think about things in a different way. Not solve their problems for them, but help take them through a journey to solve their own problems and think differently about them.
Basically guiding them to that point, yes. Because most of the time, I always say, and this is just my take, like a percentage-wise, maybe like 95% of the time, we kind of know deep inside, that certain things we need to do and where we need to be gauged. But then it takes you and other people that are, understanding and been down that road before and know the certain tips and the tools to say, you know what, I see something here. Maybe you just need to just move over this way, or maybe you just need to do something like this. And then, you help them. And that's why I love the coaches, because you help them navigate it. Yeah. And what they try to do.
You really hit on something that means a lot to me. I think Bob Proctor said it, a great, guru in the leadership world. And he said, the biggest gap in life is between what we know and what we do. And you're right. We know 95% of what we need to do, but we need some inspiration. And a lot of time that's another person who comes into our lives to give us that inspiration to do the things. Anybody, I don't want to diminish your skills and quality, but anybody could do a show like this if they really set their mind to it. We kind of know how to do it, but it's a matter of doing it. And a lot of times that's where a coach can help bridge that gap between the knowing and the doing.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. I always tell everybody when they say, you got to show you doing this. And I say, you know what? You can do it. And you could probably do better than I can. And that's what a really true leader and a coach is to step back and say, you know what? I see the potential that you have. You just have to see the potential. And
that's exactly right. You got to hold the mirror up for them.
Yeah. Like, here you go. Don't you know that you're awesome? Don't you know that you can do this?
That's right.
So Todd, I mean, already I see I'm gonna have to bring you back on. Okay, I'm already putting that out there.
Okay, I'm ready.
But I'm gonna put it out there. But before, because of timing, I want to make sure, because these are some 3 golden nuggets that you have. I want you to go to the three things discussed today. And the first one I know you had is 5 steps roadmap for a mind shift. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think having something that's kind of sequential is helpful, but it really our change or our company's change starts from the inside out. So the 5 steps really are, briefly, the first one is core values. You really need to know who you are. We all know what we are. We always talk about what we are, but who we are. My core values are optimism, trust, honesty, enthusiasm, and teamwork. And I always hope that comes through when I'm talking with people like you or speaking. So, and there's a series of exercises I take people through in a kind of a workshop atmosphere. The second part is the wheel of life. And some people think that your life work balance is like a teeter-totter. I think there's a lot more to it than that. I've actually got 9 different factors that you look at and measure and talk about in terms of your strengths and weaknesses in life. Things like exercise, like personal growth, your workplace, all those different things. The third step is really starting to focus on how differences make us better. There's 8 billion different people in the world, and that's awesome. Wouldn't it be boring if everybody was Todd? That'd be horrible. That'd be horrible.
Well, wait a minute. I would love to multiply you a few times, but now.
Well, okay, a couple times, but
just a couple times.
So really focusing on differences make us better. And if you look at an iceberg, you can see 10% of the iceberg, right? 90% of it is below the water, and that's just like us. We can see 10% of us, right? The fourth step is your comfort zone and getting out of your comfort zone, and that relates back to failing. You have to be willing to fail, and I've done that, as I've said plenty of times. Then the fifth step, I call it TLC. Team leadership culture, where you start breaking out from focusing on yourself and start focusing on others. And I use the DISC assessment as a tool to help do that and help people within companies to better understand each other and how to better work and communicate to really build that trust so you can have some constructive conflict. So that's kind of what they are in a nutshell, Barbara.
Those are powerful. And see, already now that was just one of the 3 keys that he's talking about to get today. And look at how much information, so much, golden nuggets. And who would want to work with you?
Well, I hope anybody, right?
Yes. So the next thing, culture eats vision. Now that's I'm curious about that.
I think businesses, particularly because I work with companies, particularly, they'll spend a lot of time on a strategic plan, right? They'll develop their vision, their mission, their values, their objectives, their strategy, their action steps. And I work with a lot of businesses doing that, helping them put that together. And that's certainly important. But if you don't have a culture where people have meaningful engagement in the workplace and want to be there, where Mondays turn into Fridays, where people look forward to going into work Monday because they know the people around them, they care about each other, there's engagement. But it means talking about things like your core values and how differences make us better and those things that I just talked about. But so culture, if you have a bad culture, it doesn't matter how great your plan is, it's just not going to be effective. And that's such a critical thing right now in the workplace. All the surveys and studies that people are doing is from Gen Z to baby boomers, people want meaningful engagement.
Yes, you are speaking. Oh my God, you're speaking the language of everywhere, especially in the corporate world, everywhere, just your own business, everything. Yeah. Because I always tell people you should have a buy-in. Whatever you're doing, I don't care if it's, business or maybe you're taking on a project with a few group of people. You should always have that buy-in from everybody. That culture should be there in order to strengthen it and move forward in what you're trying to do. But if it's not there and people are kind of, all over the place or not really honed in, then there's going to be something that's not going to be working properly.
Yeah, and people say, well, Todd, wouldn't you rather be because they know I love the water and the warmth, wouldn't you rather be on an island in the Caribbean sipping Mai Tais? And I'm thinking, well, that'd be okay once a week here and there, but I want to impact people and I want to change, I want to revolutionize company culture and leadership. And I can't do that just sitting on the beach all the time. I want to impact people and people want to impact each other.
Well, sometimes I was saying you could maybe do a little both. I mean, since now the new revelation is like Zoom and stuff, you could be on doing some Mai Tais online while you have your Zoom up.
Not a bad idea. Maybe I should have had one this morning.
So you could best of both worlds, right? Best of both worlds.
Absolutely. Take advantage of your technology and your opportunities.
I always say, as long as that Wi-Fi working okay, you should be good.
You're in good shape. Yeah.
And then your third thing, difference between makes us better. And I love that one.
Yeah, and I kind of touched on that with the iceberg, but I had an experience. I was promoted in a business I worked at. It was United Way actually, and so I was hiring my replacement, and it came down to two candidates. One candidate acted, and had a background very much like me. The other candidate was a strong Hispanic woman, and when I met with my CEO, I wanted to hire the guy that was just like me. And through a series of give and take, and she was talking about coaching and mentoring. She was incredible, but she posed some really critical questions that made me think differently about it. And I ended up hiring the strong Hispanic woman, and Dora was an exceptional contributor in our team. She brought to the team the weaknesses that I had. If I had hired the other person, I would have been hiring my strengths. Well, I need help with my weaknesses. And that's where differences can help us so much, is hiring people that can help us with our weaknesses. And you get a team together like that. And the rest of the team we had there, we ended up with 11% campaign increases each of 3 years because of those differences. Those differences made us better, helped us work together as a team, and really grew to respect each other. And Dora and I have had some incredible conversations since then about that very hiring, because she knew what was going on in my mind. She really understood me, and it was, the whole reason was because I was afraid. I was afraid to hire somebody who I thought might challenge me, and she sure did, but she challenged me in a great way.
And I love, what? Thank you for saying that, because why hire yourself? Right. You need to. You have you already, and you have the stuff that you do well in and expertise. Then you have the stuff that you, like you said, that just you need that little help, because that might not be your avenue, that not be your lane. And I always tell myself that I don't have no problem now saying, you know what, I'm not good at sales. So I need somebody to come in and help me and build this team, under my business to help me with that. So I love, Todd, how you said you've seen the talent and you didn't pass it over. You were like, no, this is something that's needed, because this is something that's going to help build me up and build other people around us.
That's exactly right. And I needed a website a couple years ago, and I could have spent a week on YouTube probably putting together my website, but why waste my time when I know people that can help me with that? And I hired a young lady who was building a marketing business, and she helped build it for me. And yeah, I just, find people to fill in your weaknesses. You want to have an inner circle of people that you can rely on, that can help you, and that builds you and lift you up. If I've heard the expression, if you're the smartest person in a room, you need a different room, because you want to be around people that are smarter than you, that are going to lift you up in different ways.
And you're so true. I'm always looking for people to, that I can kind of I can vibe with and then learn from and grow. Because I know that I need it. For one, it's going to help me. And then when I tell people, when you grow with other people, that helps you, and then you can bring a person on and you can help them grow.
Right.
So that's what it's all about. Again, it's about that community, that put together, that culture, like you said.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. So Todd, that's why I'm bringing you back, because time, I hate when time goes so quick. It's like we just started. But what I want to do, Todd, real quickly for 30 seconds, I'm just going to take myself down. I want you to leave any thoughts that you have for the audience, and then we'll wrap up and make sure that they get your contact information. So I'll be right back.
Sure. And I think, first of all, you look at my first name, last name. My website is toddkuckkahn.com, and I see it scrolling across the screen. And I'm very active on LinkedIn and Facebook. That might be a better way to reach me, but you can learn more about me. And again, like in the introduction, I'm really about adding more value to others than I receive. I get so much value when I speak and coach and teach and train. So I always try to give more value through that. And I rely on my faith as part of that. I rely on my core values. I rely on who I am to really help make a difference in other people's lives. And there's a variety of ways of doing that. I've seen great workplaces. I've seen questionable, I guess I'll say, workplaces. And I think those experiences I can bring through to people and really help them better understand how they can improve and how their business can improve and grow. And I've done work in manufacturing and in banking, in nonprofits, and education, in government. I've had some really great experiences, both good and bad, great experiences. And I think I can bring some value to you and bring some value to your organization.
You know what? I'm gonna just add something to that caveat, what you just said. Not you think you can bring value.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to be more positive, more confident.
Yes, right? Yes. If you stick around me, Todd, I'm that crown. I'm always going to be fixing it for you.
I can, I will, I must. That's what Eric Thomas said. I can, I will, I must.
And I love Eric. Yes, I can, I will, and I must. And you are, and you're doing it, and you're helping so many people. So thank you, sir, for coming on the Coaches Lounge with me, having a conversation. And tell everybody, now this is I'm talking to the audience right now, reach out to Mr. King Todd, because I'm telling you, if you want understand core values, culture, everything he talked about, the mind shift is so important. He knows those steps. He's been doing this for a while. He can help you and guide you and lead you in that direction. So yes, please reach out to Todd. I want to put his website again so you can get to that. So I don't want anybody saying, well, I didn't see the website and I didn't know what's going on. No. And, I always tell people, even if you didn't see it, you didn't pay attention to it, reach out to me and I'll reach out to Todd.
Absolutely. We're going to stay connected. You got that right.
It's a good connection. So, sir, thank you so much for coming on. Again, we're going to have to get you back. I want you back on the show, talk some more about what you're doing. And, I wanted to make sure I keep up with you and the audience keeps up with you as well.
Well, I'm honored, Barbara, and what a great way to start the day for me. And I really appreciate how you uplift so many people.
Thank you so much. You take care, sir.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Oh, I love having I told you that it's going to be a wonderful show today. We just talked to King Todd. He came on and he gave us some golden nuggets. I hope you had your piece of paper and pen out. I forgot to tell you that. I forgot to remind you that, but shouldn't do that. When it comes to the Coaches Lounge, just to let everybody know, you better be taking notes, because I am bringing on some powerful, awesome celebrities, coaches on this show to make sure that you understand that, you have to move that needle in your life. And, I always tell people, a coach doesn't have to just be somebody one-on-one. A coach can be somebody that's been written a lot of books and put a lot of different information in those books that they're written. And you take that book and you read and you say, oh, wow, that was a good nugget right there. Oh, that helped me get my mind set together. Oh, that helped me with maybe communicating better. Or, oh, that helped me with networking. And then the list goes on. So don't always think that you're always going to get the coaching just from somebody talking to you. You can also get the coaching from many books that they write. And yes, I'm leading into my next wonderful celebrity coach that I call Mr. Professor M.S. Mr. Professor, I call him that. He is amazing. I had him on the show just a few weeks ago. And then I looked on my calendar and he put himself down for the day too. And I was like, oh, wow, I get to have him again. So it's just wonderful when I can have these coaches come on more than once. That's why I told Todd, I said, we're bringing you back. And hopefully he's still here and he hears me. But we definitely have a wonderful person, professor, that's coming on. Now, he has written many books, and there's many more in his what I want to say, his heart and his soul. He's been touching lives in these books, and he has a big story. See, I always tell people you learn from people through their stories on why they do what they do. He's going to share a little, and I want you to really see. I'm prepping everybody. I want you to really listen to what his story is about, what happened to him. And then at that point, we're going to go into one of his other books that he written, but really get the gist of the resilience that he has in his life to move forward in spite of anything that happened to him. He has still moved forward and said, I need to make sure I make a difference in the world, even though what happened to me, but I want to make sure that I'm making a difference. And that's why I really treasure him and I appreciate him. So he's an author of The Mindful Leadership. He's a CEO and executive coaching, and he's here to link for his best-selling book title. Well, he does start, he did See the Light in You, but he's going to be talking more about the leadership part today a little bit. Like I said, I can bring him on every month, it seems like, because he has so many books. But we only have just a little amount of time. So we're going to get that from him and get to know him a little bit more again and get to understand the books. But before I bring this king on, I have to do him proud. I have to do him proud. So he'll be coming on right after this small clip. Hello, welcome back, Professor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you, by the way?
I am doing wonderful, wonderful. Another king is on my show. Thank you so much for coming on again to the Coaches Lounge.
I'm very excited to be on your show. This is the second time you are interviewing me. It's an honor to be interviewed by you, and really excited. It's a great excitement on my part to be on your show. And this is the second episode. I think last episode we had, a few days ago. This is the second episode. In the previous episode, we talked about See the Light in You. And in today's book, we are going to talk about another book titled Soft Leadership, A New Direction to Leadership.
Soft Leadership, okay. See, I told everybody you're just epitome of knowledge when it comes to these books that you're writing. But before you start, Professor, because some people might have not seen the first show, can you just give a little of your background? And like I said, you have that resilience that you have in you, and then we'll get right into the book.
Thank you. I have authored more than 50 books, including the award-winning book titled See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness the Lama, has written a foreword. And I have authored 50 books. And the thing is that I was lucky to be alive after the brain stroke in the year 2021. And I was on the bed for a few months, and gradually I recovered because of my willpower and because of the power of subconscious mind and the habits which I acquired from military background. All these things helped me to bounce back. This is the one thing. And second thing is that I was born in a toxic family and grew up into a toxic environment. My life is full of struggles and sufferings, and I have mental challenges, physical challenges, and financial challenges. And I am passionate about education and learning. And my vision is to build 1 million students as global leaders by 2030. And so far, I have trained more than 50,000 students as global leaders. And former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, is the one I have dedicated a book titled Vision 2030, 1 million global leaders. And Dr. Kiran Bedi, the first woman IPS officer from India, has written a foreword about this book. This is briefly about my profile.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, every time we talk, you just, you're just a lighthouse to the world, Professor, because the stuff that you, like you said, you went through certain things and you didn't let that stop you. You didn't let that say, I'm going to be a victim
Yeah.
of what's going on health wise that you're dealing with, like you said, culture wise, that you had to deal with certain things when you were growing up and everything. You have a family, you're moving, you're writing all these books. I mean, you're just an inspiration to the world. And I just want to keep letting you know that, because sometimes we always have to encourage each other too. So thank you so much for doing that for others. And let's get right into your book.
So I would like to talk about my book. This is the book titled Soft Leadership. This is the book. And the greatness about this book is that this book I have dedicated to Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, and uh, Philip Kotler, the father of modern marketing, has written a foreword for this book. You can see this. This is the second greatness. The third thing is that Dave Ulrich, the father of modern HR, has created a leadership code for this book. And the fourth thing is, I have authored 50 books, and 6 books have been published on soft leadership. And I am known as the father of soft leadership globally because I have published several research papers, magazines, and 6 books have been published on soft leadership alone. This is briefly about this book, and I'll also show you that I have dedicated this book to. Just I'll show you. This book is dedicated to Peter Drucker. Yeah, this is the one. You can see it.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think you can see it. Okay.
I can see it. Yeah, we can see it. That's good.
Okay. So this book is dedicated to Peter Drucker for his integrity, humility, and generosity. And after I joined for EMBA course in the year 90, I started reading about management books. Then I have acquired my MBA. Then I started liking the ideals of Peter Drucker, and then I was influenced by Peter Drucker. That's the reason why I have dedicated this book to Peter Drucker.
Now, okay, let's get into soft. Now, I know the title is soft leadership. So,
Yeah.
can you give a little bit of information regarding that? Just to identify for the audience.
Thank you. This is soft leadership is a new leadership perspective, and I acquired my PhD in soft skills in the year 2011 because I was passionate about research and I was passionate about leadership. So I did research on soft skills. Then I have blended soft skills with leadership because leadership is very close to me and I am very much passionate about leadership because I have come from military background. I served in the Indian Air Force for 12 years, and that leadership is there that connects me and my personality. So I blended soft skills with leadership and coined a new leadership perspective that is known as soft leadership. This is the point. And why I had to write, why I had to create this soft leadership is that when I was conducting the training programs to corporates and EMBA students and MBA students and corporates, they felt that they were not happy with the kind of leadership styles. Like there are plenty of leadership styles like autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire, servant leadership. Likewise, there are so many leadership styles. So the youngsters, like especially millennials, they wanted that they need a new kind of leadership perspective. Then I thought that there is a gap. Since I'm a researcher, so I researched and coined a new perspective that is soft leadership. This is the origin of soft leadership, and subsequently I have published 6 books on soft leadership alone. Actually, I have published 50 books, and these 6 books are about soft leadership, and one more book is yet to be published, and it takes some time because of the health issues, and because of COVID, and because of my brain stroke more than 1.5 year back. I was not able to write, and I don't have focus right now. Hopefully, once I get back to the track, and I'll be able to write well. And the thing is, my right hand was paralyzed. Paralyzed, so I am not able to type with my right hand. So that's one more challenge. So many challenges I had, but despite all the challenges, I am moving very fast because I am basically resilient with military background. So all this helped me to come back to the track, and I am moving gradually into in the new direction.
So now, Professor, what? Because I know with soft leadership or soft skills, give us some. Can you give us 2 examples of what a soft skill or soft skill in leadership is?
Yeah, soft skills. I did research for 4 years on soft skills and acquired PhD in soft skills, and people do not know much about soft skills. Usually, people think soft skills means the people are very soft, or something about gender. It's only about communication skills, like that. People, they have so many myths. Even when I started sharing my knowledge, maybe around 11 or 12 years back, people didn't appreciate it. They were not convinced. Then I published research papers about soft skills, and even published books on soft skills also. So the simple definition for soft skills is that soft skills are all about your personality, attitude, and behavior. That means the skills and abilities related to your personality, attitude, and behavior are known as soft skills. That's one. Now the second thing is hard skills. Hard skills means they are all about technical skills, okay, domain skills. And what is required is we need to blend both soft skills and hard skills, so that
Balance.
we can blend them effectively, so that you can grow as leaders globally. And another thing is that soft skills are alone are not required, and hard skills are alone not required. So we need to blend both. And as you go to higher positions, there is more need for soft skills and less of hard skills, because when someone enters into corporate, they emphasize more on technical skills or domain skills, whatever we call. But once they gradually go to middle level, they make 50-50, with 50% hard skills, 50% soft skills. But again, when you go to senior positions, they don't do any technical activities. They are more into people skills. So they emphasize more on soft skills. So as you go to higher positions, there is more emphasis on soft skills in the senior positions, especially at the CEO level and at the C-suite level.
Yes, Professor. I love. Thank you for explaining that, because it is important. I mean, you have, like you said, your soft skills, which basically is your attitude, your values, what you're thinking, communication. But then you also need the hard skills, like the technology and understanding, the certain levels. And I think you need to have that balance.
Yeah, correct.
Balance. Yeah.
So we need to blend both soft skills and hard skills when you want to succeed as a leader. So we need to blend both. That's the essence of it. Now coming to this soft leadership is required, and especially this soft leadership is required for millennials and centennials. Okay. We have several generations, like baby boomers. Then we have Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. So Generation Z means centennials. Generation X, Y, Z. Y means the millennials. So especially this millennials and centennials, they are appreciating this soft leadership. And why? Because the soft leadership believes in partnership, not like bosses or subordinates. So now the world is going in such a way that people want to work with partners, not even with leaders and followers. The concept is changing, and we need to change with the changing times and technologies. That's one thing. And the second thing is that this soft leadership can be applied for organizations to achieve excellence and effectiveness. And the soft leadership can be applied for countries to achieve peace and prosperities. Because when you look at some of the leaders, like American leaders or Indian leaders, some are very hard. So, but what we need to the hardness doesn't count. What is required is softness, softness counts. So that's why
Soft skills.
we must emphasize more on soft leadership, not only now, in the future, and that is the need of the hour.
So true. And people need to learn. I'm glad that you've written that, because people need to learn more about the soft skills within leadership. That is so, to me, important when you're being a leader, because there's a difference between a leader and a manager. I always tell people that in leadership, more of the they inspire, people. They help and nurture people. Whereas a manager just kind of like, I always look at them as, okay, you got to do this.
Yeah. So I would like to say in that way, managers are missionaries and leaders are visionaries. That's the difference we can make out. Because managers, they go by the mission, whereas leaders, they go by vision. So leaders are visionaries, and managers are missionaries. Okay, that is one more thing. So we need to emphasize more on leadership, because it involves vision. Vision is an integral part of this leadership.
Yes, definitely, Professor. Well, Professor, like I said, the time. I mean, I had you on twice. It's like I need to keep you on like every quarterly. we need to bring you back with all these books and knowledge that you have. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself down for 30 seconds. I just want you just to give some lasting thoughts, and then we'll come back. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, Professor, you can say some lasting thoughts, and I'll come right back. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
You want me to leave a message? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to take myself down for 30 seconds to do any lasting thoughts that you have for the audience.
My thoughts are very clear. The millennials and the centennials appreciate partnership. They don't like even leadership or followership. So that is the message I would like to share. This new leadership perspective, that is soft leadership, can be applied for organizations to achieve excellence and effectiveness. And this soft leadership can be applied to countries to achieve peace and prosperities. This is the message I can share with everyone.
Thank you so much, Professor. Appreciate you. Everybody, please, you can contact. I have Professor's LinkedIn at the bottom showing. So if you need to reach out to Professor this King and get the information. He has many books, many knowledge. As he says, show it again. Yes, there we go. Soft leadership. There we go. Yes. And he has many more. This is just one out of what, 50 or
50 books have been published. Because I'm passionate about writing books.
Yeah, but not only, but see, you just don't write the books though, Professor. You have so much knowledge and information that we're learning from. So again, thank you for doing that for the world. And like I said, we'll have to, again, I know you've been on twice, but hey, I always would love you to come back, in between time and give us updates and more information about your other books. Because you have, so like I said, you have other ones that you could discuss on the show as well.
Thank you.
So appreciate you, and you take care and keep changing the world with what you do in your books.
Thank you. And thanks for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm grateful to you. Especially, I appreciate your what is that called? You are a great orator. That's what one thing I observed. Second thing, you have that spontaneity. You speak spontaneously. That's one more thing. Third thing I observed from you is your body language is very positive.
Thank you.
So these 3 points I observed from the videos. Your body language is very positive. Second thing is you have that spontaneity, the presence of mind too, and you speak very fluently. So really, these are all the unique qualities I have observed. These are the takeaways from this interview.
Wow. You just made my whole month.
You deserve
Thank
you
you.
deserve
Thank
you
you,
deserve that
Professor.
much of time, attention, and I appreciate your passion to make a difference in the lives of others.
And that's what we all, and see, that's why we come together. We got that light-mindedness, and we do need to make a difference. So the people in the world need it. We all need each other. So that's why I was telling the King Todd and your King Professor, I was telling you, well, we need to help others, and you're doing that. So you keep doing those books. We keep coming on. We keep giving you visibility, and people get to know you all over the world, all over the world.
Hopefully, we'll have some more interviews, some more episodes in various topics, because I have published 50 books. Hopefully, I think gender, leadership, then education, learning, training, soft skills, like that. Some areas we will choose, and we keep.
We just keep it
doing interviews, so that
book interview.
So that we get connected forever.
As
long as you and I are together, we keep doing the conversation.
Yeah.
So that we can make it. So that we can we can add value to others and make a difference in the lives of others.
Yes, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Above all, I express my empathy, because my right hand was paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I was stammering because of the health issues, and I'm using blood thinner. Okay, so that blood thinner I have to use throughout my life to avoid any kind of health issues in future.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what is challenges? Despite having so many challenges, despite being a dyslexic, despite being a dyslexic, despite with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, despite being born in a toxic family, and despite having mental, physical, and financial challenges, I'm not giving up. So you should never ever give up. Be resilient.
There you go. And no excuses. Don't be a victim. Be victorious.
Yeah, right. You said rightly. Yeah.
You
never give up.
Okay,
never
Professor.
Give up.
We'll like I said, I'll keep checking in on you and seeing if you need to come back with some more books, and we'll go from there. Keep being that world changer, and thank you for coming on the Coaches Lounge.
Thank you.